Good morning, evening, or afternoon, or wherever in this world you are. Welcome to episode 3. All right, we're on our third episode. You know what that means. We've surpassed Half-Life. All right. So, what are we doing in this episode? So, today I think we're going to do some wonderful business ventures like creating a vending machine business. And we're also going to check out some of the economy. There's also a few other fun projects that might pop up, so let's get into it. Here on Islandwood, I have this lovely little apartment building, and here I want to create island business machines. Get it? And this company will create vending machines for everyone else's business to use. Because currently I'm offering my services for free, where I will set up your vending machine and I'll repair it just out of a kind of nice thing to do. But I think that I should be charging for it because you know what they say, if you're good at something, never do it for free. So what I want to do in here is I want to design its interior so it looks like a nice, cool office where I can conduct business things in order to sell these wonderful vending machines. When designing any room, it's important to think about how people move through that space. So they'll most likely, or most definitely, be coming in through this door. They'll be in this waiting section, and then I would like them to go down this hallway and then come into my office facing this wall. But how do I make people move that way? How do I convince people to move that way without me telling them? That is the big challenge. And it also has to look good. Like, of course, I could just put a wall right there. And the only way you can go is this way. But the thing is this wall doesn't look great. So I need to come up with a way to make a good looking wall right here that fits with the theme. And then also something along this hallway to make it so that people don't feel bored when walking down it. Maybe have like desks alongside here for my minions. And then back here, I'm of course going to have some options for inventory and pricing and whatnot. So yeah. Well, I did some decorating in the IBM main office. So when you enter, you're greeted by an ender chest so you can pay all your diamonds. This is a modern art piece. I'm not sure how I feel about it. Now coming this way, this area still needs some work. Don't know what to put here. But here we have some cubicles that I have crafted. They're a bit small, but that's what they deserve. Coming over here, we have the main office area with a lovely mahogany desk, potted plant, little writing area, and of course a pen. I don't know what that is. Now coming over here, this is going to contain all the product names, info, and pricings. You always put the pricings last so someone falls in love with something and then they see the price and think, do I really want to pay $34 for a Minecraft skin? And then coming over here at the end, that was a mouthful and making me wonder why I don't do another take. This is a little potted plant thing that I came up with that I think looks pretty neat. I dig it. And of course a lectern that's going to have more payment information. Of course I need to make a place to collect the payments, or they're just gonna like sit across there and throw them at me and I'm gonna be like, wonderful, time to put these in my chest. This episode will be a bit of a light episode because this has been a very busy week, and my weeks will get busier as the school term goes on. But I think this is actually only a 6-week term instead of a 7-week term. So coming this summer, I have a very big project planned that I'm pretty excited about. So yeah, this episode may be a bit of a lighter one. I'll see what else I can cram in there before my Saturday release. I might even push it to Sunday, but yeah, we'll see. So after a pretty stressful week of various work and school, I have made very little progress on anything, and I have kind of run out of ideas for this little build project right here, which is why I'm thinking of coming up here, getting my rocket out, and flying all the way over here to this little project. New. Now, what is this project, you might ask? Well, this is my pride and joy on the server. This is a fully automatic capture point minigame with two teams where they can get into this pod right here, flick a ready switch, or you get into this pod, flick a ready switch, and then be let out onto the ground. This, of course, is a capture point minigame like in Team Fortress 2, where one team tries to stand on the point, and as they stand on it, it'll fill up their meter. Once their meter is full, there should be a beacon that changes color in the center, and then this team can push into the enemy team space and capture a point here. Of course, this is all done in vanilla survival Minecraft, all using redstone, and this is the brains, and I will explain how this works. So, here we have a clock constantly dispensing or dropping items into an item hopper. This constantly ticks, and when someone stands on a pressure plate, it locks this, which prevents them from emptying out back into there. When this fills up, more and more swords get put into here, so this fills up more and more, slowly lighting up different lamps. I realize this could be made smaller, it's just I kind of made it here without making it in a creative test world. And then once it reaches here, this extends, causing it to always be powered, so these lights are always on. But if this team over here captures, it retracts this piston, causing this to reset and this one to remain on. This also has a line, well, the blue team has a line that runs all the way over here, which activates this clock area. And this is pretty much the exact same circuit from over there. And of course the ready thing is just done by having two redstone torches and two redstone lines running, and when both of them are off, it changes the state of this torch, which then in turn unpowers all of these, which then in turn opens up all of those wonderful doors. But of course, this has one major glaring issue, which you probably saw when I arrived here. This is ugly and surrounded by monsters. This is horrendously ugly, and it really needs a facelift. How am I supposed to convince my friends on the server to play this game if when they approach it, it looks like this with a awful pixel art sword? Like, this isn't 2012 Minecraft. So what I'd like to create is I'd like to have a wonderful lobby area over here, tear down these walls, so when you come up here, there's like a nice little meeting area where you can trash talk the enemy team. The reset button is going to remain right here because I'm pretty proud of that. It resets all the scores and everything in there. And then I'd also like to have some cladding on the sides in order to make it look a bit more appealing to people walking by on the various roads. Because right now it's just a perfectly flat wall, and I think if we had some cool decorations, not necessarily red and blue, but some cool, more three-dimensional decorations that also rose up, so when you're in the arena fighting, you saw some cool things. So of course I'm going to need to get to work on all of this, and I need to figure out which block palettes to use, so I'll get back to you with some experimentation. For the blue side, I kind of got some random stuff I had lying around and came up with this concept, which I think is pretty neat, so I think I'm going to expand this. I have just completed this side of the wall. For this side, of course, I use the light wood and a dark backing, repeating over and over again with this kind of like bridge thing above here. And here I used a dark log with a light backing to kind of contrast. So this is the cool blue side, and this is the warm red side. And I might change this out for terracotta later to get a bit more of a warmer look. You'll notice if we come over here, this is still very much unfinished, which is a big sad. And my plan is to have a 3 wide pathway that will go up and over, and then it'll go up and over, allowing people to look into the fighting ring, and then it'll come all the way over here, and there'll be a lobby right here with 2 big, beautiful staircases coming down, and it's gonna look wunderbar, and this will no longer look ugly. Well, alright, so I did a lot of work on it. If we go up here, we can see that. So I did the entire exterior wall. I decided to use this nice orange wood, as it's closer to the warmer colors inside the arena. I still have a chess monster right here, but I have these lovely stone walls, the little lobby area, now with tree. Leading into the 2 team zones. We still have our reset button right here. I don't know if I want to keep this iron. And we also have what our kit is and some various rules and information. But the inside of this has remained mostly the same. So if we come up here, we can get a nice top-down view of it. Of course, it needs to be a little bit cleaned up from up here. And I know I mentioned creating spectator stands up on top, and that is still in the plan, but that's coming a bit later, because I was thinking about using these pillars here as supports and having this come out, and then having a lot of rooms up there, but that's going to be another much larger project for another day. And I want to actually have this entire thing being used, because right now it's a very pretty complicated and pretty nice looking set piece, but it's made to be used for PvP, and may only the best team win. But yeah, so coming here, I'm pretty proud with how it turned out. I like the stone thing I tried here for the first time, inspired by Good Times with Scar. You may be wondering why there is a redstone torch here, and that's because there's actually a line of redstone under here that I don't want to dig up and destroy, which controls the ready switches in both of the team things. So yeah. So this has been the work here. Of course, I need to get rid of this and figure out what I'm doing for the ground, both here and here. And then I might call it an episode. Again, these episodes will be pretty lightweight because classes are starting to ramp up, so uploading weekly is almost impossible in order to have a satisfactory amount of content. I, of course, could, and this is me getting into rambling zone, so there will either be a timestamp when to skip to, or or just you can click off the video if there's not a timestamp. But it is difficult to create interesting Minecraft content when you don't have a lot of time, because a lot of these builds require a bunch of grinding and a bunch of repetitive small tasks that take up a lot of time and a decent amount of creativity. And when you're spending a lot of time working on schoolwork and this and that, it's very hard to make content, especially since when you make a YouTube video, you're only showing the peak of the iceberg. When a video is made, I try and show the beginning, a few steps in the middle for planning. For this, I think I missed out on that because I was just so in the zone. But it's difficult because you want to show a story. You want to show the beginning of setting up. You want to show the middle of, oh hey, this is where we are, and then you want to show the final product, so the viewer or you guys feel like you've come along with me on this adventure, which you have. If I showed you every single little thing, you just get these like 5-hour long episodes of me being like And that is not entertaining. Not in the slightest. So maybe this will be it for this episode. Maybe it won't be. I'll see how I feel, because I want to have regular episode uploadings and whatever. Yeah. I think this is my first rant on the channel on YouTube. I hope, and this will definitely be put in. Most of the times I cut out my rants, but this time I think it's gonna be special. Ooh, yeah. So screw it. Let's end the episode here. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Space is Nice. Bye. Oh, one last thing before I completely sign off. I just want to point out the work that one member on my server is doing. Their name is Pixels, and they have been doing so much fantastic work. Just they're working on that city over there, on this massive bridge, and I'm just adding this to the end of my video, just to be like, oh hey, thanks if you're watching. Or if random people are watching, just pointing out the amazing stuff they're doing. Like, look at this amazing thing recreated from an old server we used to play on, along with this and a whole lot of other stuff. So, amazed at the work done by them. So, yeah, actually by this time.